Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Tuesday, September 15th, around 11 p.m. Mountain Time 2020. Live footage at New Orleans of Hurricane Sally pummeling the coast. Now, the eye wall is nowhere near this region, but you can see the epic erosion that's happening along this river walk, a.k.a. Gulf Coast Walk. And this does not look good. Keep calm. It's boom time. Here we are live again, and it does not look good. Once again, Hurricane Sally crawling towards the Gulf Coast with potentially historic, life-threatening flooding. There you see the models. Wednesday early morning will make landfall. Wednesday p.m., 70-mile-per-hour winds on the coast, flash flood warnings and watches everywhere. Hello. Let's just pause that. Look at that storm surge potential. 4 to 6 in Mobile. So Alabama is the crosshairs of the destruction. Don't discount Pensacola, because Pensacola is going to be getting that onshore flow, causing that bulge inland there. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on the panhandle of Florida as well. Hurricane Sally is moving very slowly in the northern Gulf of Mexico. To add insult to injury, it is a low-level hurricane, but it is going to be sustained in its flooding potential. Sally's slow movement will result in prolonged impacts along the Gulf Coast. Life-threatening storm surge is expected, particularly in parts of Alabama and western Florida Panhandle, like I just said. Flooding rain is a major threat from Sally on the Gulf Coast. Take a look at this. Rainfall totals up to 30 inches could result in historic flooding near and just inland of the North Gulf Coast. Damaging winds are expected near where Sally center crosses the coast, and we're going to be looking at those models. Let's just look at some of the live stream once again, as we can. Not really. National Hurricane Center and Pacific Hurricane Center showing 4 named storms: Paulette, Sally, Teddy, Vicky, and Ursula coming. 70% chance of formation. This is record conditions, which were predicted weeks, if not months ago, on this channel, based on all predictive indices. And now we have Sally making landfall. Currently, maximum sustained winds at 75 knots, 85 miles per hour. Maximum central pressure at 972 millibars. Located just offshore Al Gore's Lahore. Key messages for Hurricane Sally: historic, life-threatening flash flooding due to rainfall is likely through Wednesday, along and just inland of the coast from Florida, west of Apalachicola River to far southeastern Mississippi, MISSIPPI. Here you see Alabama is the biggest winner. And we're going to get to the totals here just in a minute. Hurricane Sally, here's the rainfall totals. Not schmodals, but we got to get rid of this. This is just in the way. You're in the way, buddy. Here's the bar. Take a look at this right near Mobile on the coast. 15 to 20, up to 30 inches in some regions, right in this bullseye. And that is going to be absolutely devastating. Greatest risk for flash flood is up into the high probability for a huge swath of the coast. This is a rarity. We haven't seen it with even Cat 3, 4 storms like this. So this is a big cusp of warning. If you're in this region, I hope you have a boat. That's all I can say. Let's go over to weather.gov. Hurricane Sally moving slowly towards the center Gulf Coast. Hurricane Sally is expected to make landfall on the central Gulf Coast as a Cat 1 hurricane on Wednesday. The slow movement will bring significant rainfall with isolated amounts of 30 inches, which will be cinches. Have no idea why that changed, but we're just going to get rid of it. Here we are at the windy model, and you're looking at the devastation about to happen. Let's just run it through. It's going to make a hard turn right towards Mobile. And we're going to just pause it there. This is the current position. So if we're going to be looking at some wind speeds, you can see up to 100-mile-per-hour winds pushing onshore here in Mobile. Not looking good. Those are the gusts. And this is going to just strafe east of Mobile. And that doesn't lead anyone any safety here. Pensacola, the center of circulation, you're going to have huge amounts of rain for almost 150 miles of coastline here and inland up to 30 miles. Flash flooding potential up to 10 feet of river and creek rise in your region because of that 30 inches of rain coming down upon you. And it's just not the coast that has to worry. This is going to move inland, folks. Hello, Greens Greg and other people. Take a look. This still comes inland, tropical storm force winds, heavy rains for southwestern Georgia and all of southern Alabama. Our prayers go out to the panhandle of Florida, southern Alabama, and the people there. I hope you have generators. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance when we warned you about the eventualities. Now, the West Coast wildfire smoke has reached Massachusetts. These are not clouds, folks. This is smoke, and it goes all the way from the west coast of the most up into Nova Scotia, for goodness sakes. However, the U.S. wildfires fueled by climate change, according to California governor, not because of poor forest management. Look at this schmuck. I wish I could say something else except schmuck much. The burn and the ash behind him while he pontificates about his nonsense theory of CO2 causing the planet to warm, while they have done nothing for decades in the western forests to contain wildfire growth like what we have seen this year. When there's a drought, if you do not have fire breaks, if you have not used proper forest management, control burns, cleared that underbrush to save the spotted owl, then you're nothing but a puppet for the mainstream. Let's vote this schmuck out. Now, if you were at the Crestone Energy Fair and you heard me pontificate on the state of the nonsense, where I was describing how in 100 years the entire planet would be covered with wind turbine blades, I was not bloviating. I was telling you the facts. But the concepts for reusing composite materials from decommissioned wind turbines in affordable housing has already been realized as early as 2018. Who's talking about it? No one. I'll leave you links to this article because it is absolutely mind-blowing. It confirms the facts that I pontificated upon. But not only that, it shows you ways you can cut up a single wing and use it for 32 applications. And that includes platforms to raise buildings near rivers to keep them floodproof. Take a look at those ideas. And some of the sections of the wing can even be cut strategically to be made into homes themselves. Not only that, pieces of the flare can be used as waterproof roofs that will last in perpetuity for hundreds of years. Never have a leaking roof forever. That's something I'm looking for. But the world isn't, because crony capitalism has taken over. Mass marketing and multinational corporations will never allow this to be used, because they want to pollute the planet, make cheap shit in China, and have you to replace it every decade. Seismic update. Many quakes of note. We are in a high seismic risk time, 5.3 in Nepal. We had a 6.4 over here in the Kamchatka. We have a boomer in Tonga, or is this Fiji? 6.0. Big rocker in the region of the U.S. and the West. Which is the best? Mina, Nevada? Is it Mina? And we have this swarm getting everyone's panties in a bunch up in Yellowstone, which is completely normal. Unless you listen to crickets. National Institute of Health is very concerned about serious side effects in the AstraZeneca coronavirus vaccine trial. This includes spinal cord damage. That's why they halted the trial. So everyone that's standing in line to take their prick, be prepared to be paraplegic. Awesome. Now, face panties much? Cancer and reproductive harm because of the dyes and the dips that they're dipping these cheap-ass, multi-billion-dollar industry, pandemic, shart face masks in. So if you want to buy a face mask to protect from coronavirus, which it won't, you'll get cancer. Isn't that crazy? Possible markers of life spotted on Venus. Let's talk about the science. An international team of astronomers announced the discovery of a rare molecule earlier today. Phosphine. Phosphine. Not phosphate, phosphine. Now, phosphine only comes from two sources: industry on our planet Earth and abiotic or anoxic microbial activity. So this anoxic microbial activity on Earth has showed phosphate production as well as industry. There are no other known sources of it. Therefore, what's happening on Venus is either a global warming industry of huge production causing phosphine, or, which we know, anoxic environment on Venus and microbial activity. Now, this is equivalent to like sludges and other things decomposing, rotting material in bogs, and that's where we get the phosphine. Now, the phosphine clouds on Venus are in the upper atmosphere, so that may suggest that the microbial activity is up in the upper atmospheres, which makes sense because as you get towards the surface, you're getting up into 600-700 degrees, which is pretty hot. That's hot. Didn't Paris Hilton say that? Gene-edited livestock ready for your table. Surrogate sires successfully made fertile. This is GMO beef. You're going to have all the same cow in your burger. What could go wrong? Moo. Animals' magnetic sixth sense may come from bacteria. Many people know about animals' ability to geolocate using the magnetic field of Earth, but no one has an explanation on how it works. Well, in this breakthrough paper, animals' magnetic sixth sense may come from bacteria flowing through the bloodstream and within their bodies. And it's almost like nanotechnology, where you can put millions of robots into the bloodstream through a single injection, and they might be able to replicate and do something to control you, so on and so forth. This is the idea that the hundreds of billions of bacteria and other microorganisms within a biological entity, like a cow, a calf, a whale, a turtle, a human, may be able to communicate and allow that biological entity to understand what is the magnetic field. Now, I'm one of the type of people that can close my eyes, get spun in a circle, and point to the north. And I'm 99.999% correct. Are you that type of person? So this is an explanation for why that's happening. Apparently, I'm filled with microbes and bacteria. Oh, disgusting. The sun has started a new solar cycle, experts say. Well, we announced this months ago, so I guess the experts can suck it. Hope you got something out of the video. Times are changing. The experts are on a 3-month lag time from the independent fact checkers and scientists like myself. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. We just got back from Crestone, and we're starting to upload some of the most amazing footage of Native American source prayers, rituals, all associated with sharing knowledge in the middle of nowhere to stay safe, to build community, to start a new world. Here, right here in the Four Corners, as predicted by the Hopi myth of the Rainbow Warriors. Are you a Rainbow Warrior? I hope so. Share this with like-minded people. Check out the Crestone Energy Fair YouTube channel. We're still demonetized over at Oppenheimer Ranch Project. I can't even reapply for monetization, even though we're allowed on September 11th, 9/11, because we had a community guideline strike. We're not even allowed to comment on any videos. It is absolutely COVID 1984. Al Gore's a whore. Be safe.